Hi, I'm Terrell Edwards, and welcome to Impact. I will be interviewing families as well as finding out how they've coped with the loss of loved ones. You will see and hear soon how their lives have been impacted.
Police are now beginning an investigation into the murder of a teen.
You know, you want your kids to bury you. You don't want to bury your kids.
And we did try speaking with Johnson's family today. They were not ready to talk with us on camera. Loved ones tell me this was not the outcome that they were expecting.
Frank Corleone, man. Frank Corleone, that guy that everybody love to hate, you know. I'm a humble guy, but it's another side to me too that I don't like to show unless they come at me the wrong way, and then, you know, it is what it is. But I've been really working on my spirit and my humbleness and my relationship with God. So I've been very much a peaceful being these last few years, man. Like, Boss Week changed me. I see a lot of violence. I see us against each other. I see black people, like, you know, we just don't love each other like we should. So I try to change me before I can speak to somebody else to change them. You know what I'm saying? So I hope my words, you know, even when I be in a club on the mic, you know what I'm saying, I try to speak some positiveness in people in the midst of having fun. If they listen closely, if they listen deeply, I honestly be telling some good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, one of my slogans is we ain't got a problem with you being broke, we got a problem with you staying broke. I mean, I'm saluting everybody, all hustlers, all go-getters to keep getting money and hustle to stop hustling. If you out there doing what you do, just, you know, hustle to stop hustling. Build your empire. Don't be a dummy with that money. You know what I'm saying? So, Frank Corleone in a nutshell.
Hustle House United. You guys are, you're a successful businessman right here in Jacksonville.
Yes, sir.
You got a story to tell. You're doing some great things right now, but it wasn't always Hustle House United. It was Hustle House Entertainment at some point, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and you and your brother started that.
Yeah, 2005.
Okay, 2005. Yeah, that's awesome. But I guess it wasn't always, the best times for you guys, right?
Yeah, you know, we done had to leap some obstacles.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
As a matter of fact, you mentioned to me before that you guys were considered, your parents were teenage parents. Mm-hmm. And so what was that like to have teenage parents?
Well, you know, we was young, they were young. I mean, we was kids, and one thing about us growing up, even though we was like shipped from family member to family member, they always kept us together.
Yeah. You and your brother?
Yeah, me and my brother, yes, sir.
Yeah, so who's the oldest?
He 1 year older than me.
1 year? Yeah. Exactly 1 year? Or?
Yeah, well, what they call them twins. I still can't think of the name of them twins, but we like 10 months apart.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that had to be a pretty special relationship, though.
Yeah, we were very close.
Yeah. What did you find him a great big brother?
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was more than a big brother, man. He was a leader as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. When you have that type of relationship, it's probably something that you wouldn't expect that you guys would ever be separated.
Yeah, I never expected it. I never imagined it.
Yeah.
That we'd be separated.
Yeah. But that did happen at some point.
Oh yes, sir.
Yeah.
2011, 7/9/11. That's when we lost him.
Okay. So we're gonna come back to that, but like leading up to, how did you guys decide to build a successful business at a very young age? What were you guys doing? How'd you come up with the name Hustle House?
Hustle House. Well, you know, to be real, we ran into some problems when we was younger. He went to Fed prison. I stayed. I went through the whole deal with him the whole time. He was gone for 8 years, and during that time, you know, we talked a lot. We wanted to start a label, which we had a label before he left, but it was called Royal Family at the time. When he went in, we started thinking about, you know, the new things that was going on. And it was a lot like Suave House and things of that nature, different label names. And he came up with Hustle House, you know what I mean?
And why did he come up with that name, Hustle House?
Well, he said, you know, we grew up as hustlers.
Oh yeah, okay, okay. Yeah.
So, you know, and we started out and we wanted to build a house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how it all came about. He came up with a name and I pushed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So you guys came up with Hustlers. Meaning you guys you were kind of had that entrepreneurial spirit already, but you kind of did some things that. Yeah.
1 foot in, 1 foot out. You know, when you're a product of your environment, you always want to try to find a way to come out of that system. And one of the ways that we had in mind to come out and start our own business. We wanted to always be our own bosses. So, you know, we got our first try at being an entrepreneur like 97. I was young. I maybe was 18, he was 19. And we found our first building, and it was called Mystique.
At 18 and 19 years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
18, 19.
Yeah. And you said it was a gentleman's club?
It was a gentleman's club.
Okay. All right. Business is business.
Yeah, business is business.
Right. Okay, and so, you know, leading up to that point, I guess you guys probably looked at a couple of different business ventures. And
we did a lot of different, you know, Hustle House. So we found out we did some. One time we had a rental car service. You know what I mean?
Right.
And limousine service. We did a few things that, you know, we tried to dibble and dabble in the entrepreneur, you know, world. And the one that stuck with us the most is entertainment. Yeah.
Awesome. So I mean that's a great story already. And you know, you mentioned you being a product of your environment. You know, so sometimes you may have found yourself dealing with a drug situation or selling drugs. Is that the case?
I mean I can't cap. We was out there.
Right.
We was in the streets heavy.
Well, I can imagine with teenage parents, you know, and kind of raising yourself, sometimes you just feel like you had to do what
we had to do what we had to do.
Right.
We was out there.
Yeah. So, you know, you at 18, 19 years old, and you started this business, and you're getting to a point where you kind of want to turn the corner. What prompted you to that? What got you there?
Well, I always looked at, you know, we used to be out there, Florida Avenue, East Side, you know. I always looked at the older guys that had turned their lives into, you know, being bosses and entrepreneurs, and I looked up to the Earl Cockies, the Tags, the, you know, Buster, Mr. Buster, you know, even Pastor Harry. I looked up to him, you know, and I wanted to figure out a way to do something different, you know what I'm saying, bring myself out the streets. You know, and one day I was hustling on the block. Pregnant lady came up, she wanted a dime. And I was like, and I was like, oh man, I don't want to sell this baby, she's pregnant. But I needed the money too. And I served her. And it just stuck with me like, man, I gotta figure out a way out. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I made some decisions then to start changing my life around a little bit, you know.
So that situation stuck with you. I mean, that your moral compass started to change a bit.
Yeah.
Like I need to do something better.
Yeah. I gotta change my direction, man. I gotta be smarter. I can't get caught up in the system the way that they got it planned out for us, because, you know, it's meant for us to get that F on our report card, and once you get that F, it's forever messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you mentioned you had some role models that also played a big part in you kind of changing the way you saw things.
Yeah.
And how do you think just seeing those guys impacted you in a way that you want to make some changes?
Well, you know, I seen them driving in big cars, and they were living life, and they had businesses. You know what I'm saying? They had
reputable businesses.
Yeah, they had businesses. They was in the hood, but it was like, you know, corner stores, you know, restaurants. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? I want to do that. I want to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of realizing this is not the way you were doing. It's not the only way. This is a better way.
It's a better way.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, turn your money into, you know, figure out how to turn the money into good money, bad money into good money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. So yeah, it's 1997, 98.
Yeah.
Tell me about what was some turn of events there with your brother.
Well, 97. You know what I'm saying? We had our first run-in with the feds.
What got me into the entertainment business? Me and bruh, you know, we started out in this game. You know, we was in the streets doing our thing or whatever. And, you know, I always looked at my life as, you know, I wanted to grow into something different. I wanted to come out the street. I always had this concept, hustle, to stop hustling. You know, get it. Because, you know, I always had this thing when they used to call it the game. My thing was you either lose or you win in the game. And how you win is you get out. You know what I'm saying? How you lose is you stay in. So I came up with some ideas a long time ago. I'm 17, 18. I did some detailing shops. I did some printing and marketing. I did a lot of different stuff. Then me and my brother, we passed by this little spot called Mystique on Main Street. And we walked in there, and these guys, they was firemen, and they had like a house system in there. And they had like 4 girls on stage dancing with no shoes on. You know, it's funny. Me and my brother looked at each other. We like, man, we could do something with this spot. So we made a proposition to the fireman guy. They liked the proposition. We had a lot of money then. So a shoebox full of money wasn't nothing. We just throw that on the counter and say, hey, man, let's take over the spot. And we did it. And I had no idea what came with the adult entertainment. I did a lot of stuff that I had to learn through experience. When the Vice came, things that I couldn't do. We did it for enough time to get a branded name in the game. But then when they did come, they say, hey, you can't do X, Y, you can't do this, can't do that. And that's how I really got into the adult entertainment business. I was 18 in. My brother was 19. It's been a journey. It seemed like it always find me. I don't really be looking for it. It always find me. This is our 4th Gentlemen's Club. Mascaras is our club now. I still at this day say our, because me and my brother always been 50-50 partners, and I still consider him as my partner in this thing.
So you and your brother, at this point in your life, you guys are inseparable. From pretty much from your day one, you guys are inseparable, right?
Oh yeah.
And business partners now. You get to the point where you want to turn things around. At 18, 19 years old, you started Gentlemen's Club and some other businesses, right?
Right.
And so, you know, that's pretty incredible for 18, 19-year-old with teenage parents.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this: at this point, it's 1998. As a matter of fact, you guys were, you know, doing so well that someone gave you guys the nicknames. You were named Frank Corleone.
Yeah.
and what they call your brother?
Mobb Boss.
Mobb Boss.
Yeah. Oh, Mobb Boss.
Yeah. So yeah, is that him right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people probably didn't like that name, Mobb Boss. They find that intimidating, you think?
Yeah, and some people found it intimidating. But he was a guy that was hard of gold, had a heart of gold, man. So.
Yeah. So in 1998, something happened.
Yeah, that's when we got a knock at the door from the feds. Yeah, and we both got picked up, but being that I was more grounded in the club we was in, they missed me. You know what I'm saying? But he ended up getting 8 years for a conspiracy charge.
Yeah. So you all were making your way out, but just
we was definitely making our way out.
Yeah.
We was definitely making our way out, and he got caught up with. Then they used to go by hearsay, like you get 3 people to say the same thing. It was really entrapment. And anyway, being that he had a background a little bit, it's hard to beat the feds. He ended up taking 8 years. He did that in Jessup, Georgia, and got out in 2005.
But during that period of time, you guys had that period of separation that you never had before.
Right. That was unusual.
Yeah. So how'd that make you feel?
Man, at first I was a little like, it was a challenge, and I was more so like, okay, I gotta keep things moving. I gotta keep my head up. I gotta make sure I take care of these kids. Make sure I take care of moms. I always had a drive. We always had a drive, you know. But I had to really turn it up and really put my grind in to make sure I get things done. Cause I know he was gonna need me more, being that he was, you know, locked up. So I had to do what I had to do.
Okay. So him being locked up was kind of a way for you to just get more focused and get more focused, and also I wanted to keep him motivated and keep his name, you know, up. And then with the Gentlemen's Club we had at the time, it was a platform that allowed me to keep his name as strong as my name was out here, you know. And I'm sure you wanted him to be proud of you too. Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, I always tried to impress him. I definitely always tried to impress him and make him proud of me while he was down. Yeah. So you say, 8 years? Yeah, he did 8 years. So LaMarco's in jail for 8 years. Yeah. He gets out right around 2005? 2005. February 5th, 2005. Yeah, okay. Yeah. And so what was that like? I'm sure you guys were happy. Yeah, we was happy, but what's so crazy is, you know, I was still out here, you know, in Duval County, Jacksonville. Boy, you gotta be on your P's and Q's, so you gonna find yourself in some difficult situations sometimes. And I found myself in one, and I ended up having to go in for a case as he was coming out. So he came home 2005. I was fighting a case. I was fighting an attempted murder case, and I beat it. But as he was out in the halfway house, I was in. He used to come. He used to sneak out the halfway house, the federal halfway house, and come down to Gainesville, because that's where I had my case at, to see me. And we talked, man. We bonded again. Now I was on the one side of the glass, he was on the other side. So I ended up coming out of that situation. I came home 2005, November 13th, 2005. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Good. And so you guys are back working together. Yeah. And it's 2005. You get to right around 2011. You guys are doing pretty good at this point. Yeah. We was in a nice position with 3 clubs: Mascara, Silver Fox, and the Mirage. We was doing pretty good. Yeah. Still working in your music angle too. Yeah. We had kind of paused the music to work on the clubs, but we were still in it, but not. Our hands wasn't all the way on it like the clubs were, because the clubs is a handful, so we had to kind of focus on one thing at a time. Yeah. So those clubs, those gentlemen clubs, you had 3 of them.
Yes.
And do you have a routine? Because I'm sure they were all open the same days.
Yeah.
So give me a little insight on what your routine would be.
Well, we had the Mascaras on the south side. We used to leave Mascaras, go on the west side to the Silver Fox, leave Silver Fox, go on the north side to Mirage, do our pickups. So we used to leave with our entourage, armed security, entourage of our closest buddies. I put it like that. We used to leave one club and shoot to the next. A long line of cars.
Entourage, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, was that for security, or were you guys just moving the
Well,
audience from one place to the next?
Yeah, you can call them security.
Okay, all right. So it's July 9th, 2011.
Yep.
Can you give me a little bit of insight on what happened that day?
Oh man, July 9th, 2011 was one of the most devastating days that I ever experienced in my life. That's when he had got killed.
So what happened there?
Well, like I said, we used to leave one club and head to the next club. And this particular night, he left before everybody can get together. He was having an argument with the young lady that he was dealing with at the time. They had a business relationship, and I guess it got a little personal. When they left, he ended up getting out of the vehicle that they was in. I guess they had an argument on the way. Mm-hmm. He ended up getting out the vehicle, which was a Tahoe truck, one of those big trucks. Okay. Getting out the driver's seat on an intersection, on a exit. He got off on the exit, Macduff. She jumped in the driver's seat as he was crossing over the front of the truck. She mashed the gas and hit him, and it hit him in the chest. And he had internal bleeding. It cut off one of his main arteries, and he had internal bleeding, and he died on the scene.
Did anyone call you right away, or how'd you get that news?
What's so crazy is this particular night, me and him, we hadn't talked in a couple of days because we had a little disagreement on
like brothers do.
Yeah, some business. We had a little disagreement on some business, and we hadn't talked in a few days. But then when I did see him that night, he walked up to me. I was in the DJ booth because I used to like to get on the mic and talk a little trash on the mic. And he walked up to me. He was like, he had gave me a song maybe about a week ago because he had recorded a new song. He was like, "You listen to the song, bro?" And I'm like, "I did, but I hadn't listened to it on the big speakers in the car." He was like, "Man, your opinion matter. You gotta listen to the song." That's how we started the conversation off. And I was like, "Okay, bro, I got you. I'm gonna listen to it." And he said, "I just wanted to tell you, boy, you are the best person I ever heard on that microphone, and I love you." And
it's okay, man. The good thing about this was a day you guys hadn't talked for a while, and he was able to express his love for you that day before he died.
yeah,
So, thank you.
we was able to. Yeah. That's what's so crazy. We was able to have that conversation again. Like the last words we said to each other was, "I love you, bro."
Yeah, that's awesome, man. kind of you again. Yeah, it's you again. And I'm sure it was the last next couple of days were probably pretty tough for you.
Yeah, we was the first one on the scene. Well, one of my partners that's supposed to have been following him, they ended up getting crossed up on the exit he got off on. A good friend of mine, he went to the next exit. So he was the one that showed up on the scene, but I had got a call from her. I got a call from the girl that hit him. And she was screaming and hollering, said, I just hit Sean, I just ran him over. But she didn't say she killed him. And I was like, where you at? Where you at? And she wouldn't say. She was like, I gotta call the police. And I'm like, where you at? Where you at? And she hung up the phone. I knew the route. What's so crazy, like I said, when he went out the back door. So I usually wait for him. I was in the back first waiting on him to come out, not thinking that he was in a rental. He was in a rental car. And the rental truck. He was in the rental truck. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at his vehicle that he usually drives. It was in the back. So I was sitting in the back thinking that he was finna come out and get in his vehicle, but not knowing he had already pulled off. Yeah. So I'm sitting back there waiting for him for a while, and I'm like, okay, let me drive to the front of the club. I was in the back, so I drove to the front of the club to tell the security in the front to make sure they locked the front door. And that's when I got the call from her that he got hit. So I took off. I went in the direction that I thought that he went in, and I couldn't find him. I started following the ambulance because I see the ambulance with the lights on. So I'm thinking I followed them. It wasn't him that they went to. So I had a friend of mine in the car with me, and I told her, I said, call 911 to see if they had a call of somebody getting hit. And they said, yeah, we had a hit. We had a call in off of Macduff. So we shot over there real quick, went, and they had already had the sheet over him. The yellow tape was already up, and I ran down. I was asking the officer, is that my brother? And it was like they can't confirm who it is right now, but I see that the person was deceased. So after a while, I called my mother, and she came out there, and I told her that, I think Sean is dead, and she came out, stayed out there for a while for they actually confirmed that it was him. But we had kind of already knew that it was him. Yeah. So
how did that affect your mother? Did you feel?
Oh man, she's a strong woman. That lady's super strong. It affected her, but she stayed strong for all of us. And it's like she showed it, but she knew she had to kind of just keep it together. Yeah.
What it is, man, that's how we do for Mobb, man. Last year, it's been a year. We let the white balloons up, at Freedom, at Friendship Park. Tonight we had mascara with the Japanese electrons. Put some fire on it, you understand? All right, here we go. I think we're ready to go.
So, you know, now you're. I hate to hear that about you. Thanks for sharing that. Now you're running the business.
Yeah.
You're without with your partner.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so is there anything that kept you going? Like what?
Well, you know, I really feel that, you know, God working in mysterious ways. And when he was gone for the 8 years, I think that was my preparation time. He would prepare me for when he actually come get him. You know what I'm saying? I really felt that my brother was like it was meant for everything to happen the way that it happened, because he was like a sacrifice to what God had planned for me to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, he passed in front of this church called One Accord, and I used to like always wonder why, like, you know, certain things that happen. I used to, you know, kind of ask God, like, why this had to happen like this. And slowly but surely, I started realizing that his death was a blessing to a lot of people, as far as, you know, giving them motivation and allowing me to kind of be the person that was navigating the situation. That's why I got it on my chest. I always let people know that he's still here with me. You know what I'm saying? And we still have conversations. You know what I'm saying? I still have conversations with him, because I
still talk to him.
Yeah, I still talk to him, man. I still have conversations and trying to figure out, you know, what I should do about this situation, this issue, and I kind of know how he think. So I kind of like say, okay, I know how you handle this.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
So just going back a little bit now, you mentioned your brother's gone, but you still talk to him every day.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. To have that type of connection even now. You know you're not physically here, but his spirit is still with you.
Yeah, spirit's strong too. Yeah.
So Frank Corleone and my boss.
Yeah.
They still doing it.
Yeah. And we still rocking.
Yeah. That nickname, my boss, I mentioned that it was a little intimidating to some people.
Right.
But you've taken that negative and made it a positive, right?
Yeah, I used to when he passed away, I used to do something every year called Mobb Boss Week, because you know I was still trying to figure it out when he passed away. I was still working my way through it, trying to figure it out on, you know, what God, you know, direction he sending me in. And I had a lot of backlash with the name Mobb Boss. Even though I was trying to do something great for the city, I was getting that pushback because of what come with the negativity of the MOB.
That's right.
So, you know, I got to the point where, you know, I told God all the time, and like, drop the MOB. No, let me take it back. Not drop it. Take the MOB. I started a nonprofit, which is Lamarco Wilcox, his real name. And I took the MOB and I made an acronym, MOB, Men of Balance equals Boss. I took the acronym
Men
MOB,
of Balance.
Men of Balance equals Boss. And started the nonprofit. So I came in with instead of making it about him, I made it about all bosses. I made it plural, Boss Week. So, you know, every year now we have the entrepreneurs, we have something for the women, we have something for the kids, we have something for the bosses. You know, it's all about bringing bosses into the city to influence our youth, give them some direction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why Men of Balance? What does that mean?
Balance, man. I just feel in life you got to have balance. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't perfect. You know what I mean? You can have balance on either side. You know what I mean? And life is you know, it's so tricky sometimes. Sometimes you lean, have to do something. You know what I'm saying? You may regret. And then, you know, over here on this other side, you may do something that's great, that's inspiring to people. So it's like you got to continue to balance your life throughout life. You know what I mean? So,
Right. Yeah, I get it. So what do you think your role is here now? After all of the, you've gone through some challenges, man.
Yeah.
You've suffered loss. You know, you've been able to spring back.
Yeah.
And you know, here you are. What's your role now?
My role is to take, you know, my life experience and to drop positive seeds especially in our youth, because our youth these days is, I feel like they very lost, especially in the music world. Like that's their Bible now to me. You know what I'm saying? I see it as that the music is their Bible. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay to live through make music through your life, but at the same time you got to understand what comes with speaking things into existence. You got to know what comes with that. You know what I'm saying? It's a big responsibility. And I think in my position, I'm in the music and the movies now. Since I'm out the club business, I want to just help the youth get some direction on, what this thing is all about. You know what I mean? It's a formula to it, and if you ain't careful, you'll get caught in that net, and your life doesn't change. You know what I'm saying? For the worse. So with me now, I'm just putting my efforts in the music, the movies, and the community. You know what I mean? I want to tell my story. You know what I mean? I want to tell our story. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man. You mentioned God a couple times, and I know you mentioned also that your mother was a strong woman, and I know that this picture that you got hanging here, that's your brother, Marco there,
that's bro,
and that's your grandmother.
Yeah.
And tell me a little bit about her.
Man, that lady was a praying, loving. She used to love the community. She used to feed the homeless. She raised us. Like I said, my mother, my father was so young when they had us. We was kind of like, we was in the family orphans. But the one thing that they didn't do is separate us. So we kind of grew up with that loyalty for each other, and that loyalty kind of spilled out to other people that, especially now that I deal with, I'm a loyal guy, you know what I'm saying? But she taught us how to be loyal. She taught us how to, make sure we watch each other back and we be there for each other, you know what I'm saying? And always put God first. She taught us those things.
At an early age, she taught you that?
Yeah, she embedded those things in us, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, praying. She took us to church. She used to have that washboard, and that what the thing called? I used to call them tangerines.
Yeah.
But that thing in church, man, she used to be going in for God. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that was embedded in us. So
that's awesome, man.
Definitely, that's what got us through. We know how to get on our knees when it get rough.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? Just like all of us, you've had some challenges. You've made some mistakes. You recovered, but like as they say in the Bible, it sounds like it happened. Train up a child the way he should go.
Yeah.
So when he gets older, he won't depart from it.
That's right.
And so it sounds like you're on the right track.
That's right.
Thanks a lot, brother. Appreciate your time today.
For sure.
Thanks for your story.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Rascal.